Hi, welcome to the Anandashri Astrology New Moon Forecast, Vedic Astrology and Tarot reading for October 27th, 2019. So the new moon is approaching. The energy is diminishing. How are you feeling? So if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, you may have noticed that the nights have been getting longer. The darkness seems to be growing. Winter is approaching. And this dark moon time might seem especially dark because of that. It's a certain energy of fall in the time of Hallowmas that's coming. But in India, this new moon is celebrated with light. This is the festival of lights called Diwali. So within this moon is a spark of new light. The idea is that when darkness encroaches, it's time to focus on the light within. So this is a powerful day to be calling in prosperity, abundance, good intentions for the year. They are celebrating this as the new year. It's full of fireworks and the lighting of these oil lamps called diyas. You can fill it with ghee or oil, mustard oil or ghee, and use a cotton wick of some kind and place it inside. So this new moon is a time for calling in the light, for connecting to prosperity. The goddess Lakshmi, and also Ganesha, the elephant-headed god of new beginnings and the breaker of obstacles, and also Kubera, the god of wealth, are especially focused on in Diwali. So it's a time of prosperity, abundance, celebration, to call in good health and happiness and abundance for you and your family. It's a time to clean out the house, buy new clothing, and go out and connect with others as well. So Diwali is actually a 5-day festival. It's going on, starting on the 25th and running through the new moon. But this year, the actual new moon of Diwali is going to happen in the nakshatra of Swati nakshatra. Swati is the nakshatra of the wind. It has to do with self-actualization. It's called the self-going star. It's also got to do with the ability to be flexible under adverse situations. The image is of a young plant, like a shoot coming out of the earth and being blown about by the wind. And if you've ever gardened, you know that wind is actually necessary for young plants to develop strength in their stems and branches. So the adverse effects of being pushed about, the apparent instability and chaotic nature of the wind actually helps the plant grow stronger so it can be bigger and more healthy later in life. So this idea of Swati, which is ruled by Vayu, the god of the wind, as being flexible and moving and actually gaining strength. What doesn't stop you makes you stronger. That's the idea. So there's a lot of tenacity in Swati. There's a lot of also flexibility though too. So this new moon is going to also be right around the time when Venus transits, just moments after Venus transits out of Libra, where she's been very strong, into Scorpio. She's going to join Jupiter and Mercury there in Scorpio, forming a Saraswati yoga. This new moon is really full of Shakti, of knowledge, of learning, of prosperity, and of how we can communicate emotionally in a better, more productive way and connect with others in a way that expands and opens our minds. So it's been an intense year. Since February, especially March, Ketu and Saturn have been joined closely together and traveling across Sagittarius. This energy is also part of a Kalasarpa yoga called the Serpent of Time, a yoga that's lined up with Ketu and Rahu with all the planets on one side. So that's been going on since like July. There's a lot of energy of transformation and, in a way, a kind of karmic purification happening in general for the planet. You can see this with a lot more awareness coming into, obviously, a needed awareness coming into political corruption and climate issues, environmental issues. And a feeling of hopelessness and sadness could be something a lot of you are experiencing as well, or a sense of instability, depending on how Saturn and Ketu has been transiting your chart, or if you're running a dasha of Saturn and Ketu especially as well. Now, Jupiter is heading towards Sagittarius too, and this is going to be a very powerful transit of Jupiter, because when Jupiter transits over this area called Gandanta in the days surrounding November 4th, he will be entering into his Mula Trikona sign, his strongest position. And I'm going to do another video on how this is affecting people for the year. It's a transit that's going to last about a year. You know, the slowest moving planets, visible planets besides Rahu and Ketu, are Saturn and Jupiter. And so their movements are very important. And both of them are going to be changing signs in the next 3 months. So this is a really powerful transformative time in the next few months coming up. And it is a good time to check in with a Vedic astrologer like me or someone else to find out how these transits are affecting you. I also, besides Vedic astrology readings, offer tarot readings. So if you would like to reach out to me, you can book a session one-on-one over Skype or FaceTime or Zoom or phone, whatever you prefer. I'll leave a link in the description window below. So as Saturn and Jupiter converge in the months to come, it'll be about 3 months when they're doing this with Ketu, there will be an eclipse and a lot of energy focused in on this expansive energy of Jupiter, optimism, guru, the one that dispels the darkness, right? Just like this new moon. The optimism and hope of the future. And Saturn and Ketu, which is based on the practical needs and realistic expectations of the earth. So there's a rare opportunity coming up, I think, in these few months to come, especially the eclipses in December, which I'll make videos about in the future, but just a heads up, where there is going to be a lot of energy focused in on Sagittarius. So do reach out to me if you'd like to know how this is going to be panning out for you. And let's see what the tarot cards have to say, though, about this new moon in Swati Nakshatra, Diwali, the Festival of Lights. So the first card that came through, the Princess of Wands. In other decks, it's the Page. This is a fire card. You can see there. Looks like the fires of Diwali. The power, the energy of the spirit. Something that reminds me of Swati with this too, this card. Life and its ability to play and move, burn through anything. And then the Lovers. As I was saying, this new moon has a sort of special energy when I looked at it because of Venus in particular. Venus rules this new moon. It's in Libra. That's where Swati is in the sidereal system. And Venus is with Mercury and Jupiter, creating what they call Saraswati Yoga. But it also gives a lot of depth and ability to communicate, connect with others. But this card also is more than that. It's more than just, love and connection and emotional availability, which it is. There's something even deeper happening here, between the darkness and the light. Diwali, it's no coincidence that it happens as the darkness is encroaching, right? This time in the northern hemisphere where we're having this feeling of winter fall, the leaves are dying on the trees. It's Hallowmas, it's the time of death. You can focus on the darkness, and there's nothing maybe wrong with that. Someone was saying, what's wrong with focusing on the darkness? Why would they want to ignore the darkness when the darkness is here? But then I think the cards are saying that the darkness is just the absence of light. It's just a perspective. And actually, as the lights dim and the nights grow longer, the power of light, the inner light, the light we keep, the light of this burning within us, is actually growing. It's easier to see a candle when the lights go out. And then finally, this one, another princess page of coins or pentacles. Very Lakshmi. This is Kubera, the god of wealth, the fertility god of abundance, of possibility, of giving thanks for the harvest, for what we have, what we share with each other, and the potential for the time to come. So this truly is, the cards are saying, a new moon where we really do have a choice to focus on what we are grateful for and to remember our inner strength. Take a look. The fire of the Spirit is infinite and always there burning, powerful within us, something that never ages. Within the darkness is the light, and within the light is the darkness. Keep the connection, channel of your heart wide open, and allow for prosperity, abundance, and new opportunities to be born forth. To hold on to the light of hope, true love, is a choice. Nice cards for this new moon in Diwali. Have a blessed and wonderful Diwali. Call in the light. And keep an eye out for my Jupiter horoscopes. I'll be posting that pretty soon here. And if you'd like to reach out and get a special reading, especially for this Jupiter transit coming up, you can book a reading with me. The link is below, or just go to anandastrology.com. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel too if you haven't already, and get on my newsletter. It's free. And I will see you soon on the next